Good morning and welcome to the Betting Connection podcast. My name's Chris. I'm here as always with my co-host Rob. Rob, shall we talk about last week, or let me get a temperature check first. How are you feeling?
I'm doing fine. I'm just doing fine. It's already been a couple of days past, and then again, like we've been doing this for such a long time. You go through the highs and the lows, and you take it on the chin, and it's like a work in progress always. You always try to adjust and find where did you go wrong, what you could have done better, or was it just bad luck this time? And then we hopefully we have good luck the next time.
Yeah, for those that listened last week, yeah, it wasn't a good one. It was our worst performing week of the season. We had seven value picks and only one, and that was actually because of a two-goal lead as well. Which actually, while I'm speaking about the two-goal lead, Rob, I can't remember any pick that we've had this season that we've had to rely on that. Yeah, so I feel like this is the first time that I've sat here and said that was a winning pick, which was actually a 2-2 draw with Grafschap last week. Yet the bet won because we're doing all our picks on, paying out as a two-goal lead. But I think that's the first one of the season.
I do remember a couple of them on my side, or maybe in the Accas, or at least it's giving me a lot of rest, like composure when I'm like looking up scores or whatever, and I don't have to like put a bet against them again, like a safe bet to secure my winnings. I don't have to look at it that way, but
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I like it myself as well, especially sometimes because if you do, sometimes maybe at a weekend you want to put a bet on, but you want to see what happens with your other bets first before one, and then sometimes it comes in early, like all right, money's already in, boom, let's put that bet on I was thinking about. So it definitely is a good thing. But I looked into it a little bit. I was asking AI about it, and they say that the bookie wins with that philosophy.
of course, I think in the long run, and if you take a look at all the bets that we have put in, of course, the bookies would, otherwise they wouldn't do it. Like they are smart, they
Absolutely.
know what they do. So we're just here picking up the grapes, like trying to find those shiny coconut, and then let's grab the right one filled with coconut water, and that's it. That's the game of gambling.
Anyway, let's finish finish off the horrific roundup. We so not a lot came good. We were minus just over -6 units for last weekend, which puts us we're still in profit for the season nicely, 7.5 units up. It has been battered though the last few weeks. It has to be said. We were up 25 units at one point. We're now 7.5, so it's still up for the season. I follow other tipsters and picks, and anything in profit is deemed decent enough. It depends what your unit size is, but look, yeah, we've taken a hit recently. It does hurt a little bit, and yeah, like when times like this, I like to bet less. Personally, I just like to withdraw a little bit rather than chase it. We've spoke about this in the past as well. It's just my preference. And to be honest, Rob, I don't know if you remember, our season followed almost the same pattern last year. Do you remember? We got off to a really good start, and then this kind of like chaotic period, November to December and Christmas was a bit messy as well. And then once you get through January and get to the business end of the season, I found it a bit easier to pick winners again. I don't know if you're feeling the same.
Yeah, I kind of have the same feeling. That's why it's good that you're tracking these things now in our Excel sheet, so we can have a proper look at it at the end of the season. And maybe if we do it again next season, then we see the same thing, then we should like try to learn from that, or maybe just go on holiday for a couple months and then come back in January.
Yeah, like way back when, I always found it difficult at the beginning of the season. But then I think I was looking for picking that back in those days. I was just looking for favourites, right? And that's why start the season is not that easy. But since we started doing value picks, I feel like there is a lot of value at the beginning of the season because there's nothing
Yeah,
set, right? So it's more
yeah,
about like just finding the good prices on certain teams, finding those teams to fade, finding those teams that have got off to a flyer. And that's what we've done over the last two seasons, have done it very successfully. When it does come to this kind of time, there are some more random results. And like it always comes when I bet on the Champions League, we don't talk about the Champions League on this particular pod because we do weekend picks. But I find with the Champions League, it's you just know when a team's going to win because they have to win, right? So we are in a period of the season. It sounds silly, but like people don't have to win right now. I know every game is important to everyone, but do you know what I mean by that? But the teams don't have to win. When you get to there are certain games in the Champions League where they've had a couple of bad results, and you're like, right, that team needs to win now. I back them, and they usually do the business. Now, I find that's the same when we get to the business end of the season. So that's why I think maybe there is a philosophy to this, why it just gets a bit messy this time of year. But look, we'll analyse it come the end of the season. But I do think that maybe betting a little bit less around this kind of chaotic time and going bigger at the beginning and bigger at the end may be the better way to go. But let's see.
yeah, yeah. When you're talking about this, then I'm also thinking about the last couple of weeks, and we had some bad luck as well, like some results going against us, like that were very ordinary or very late. And if it were just the other way around, we would be sitting on a couple of units. Yeah, I remember those weeks that you said, "Oh, we just missed out on one, on the Accas. We just had this one wrong in the very end." So maybe it's not that bad. It's maybe a little bit of bad variance. And let's see what we have for this weekend.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like last week didn't feel bad luck; it just felt terrible. But because that was on the back of some bad luck previous to that, it just feels just very condemning generally. So, but look, it's the name of the game, and ultimately, we're still sitting here in profit, so we're still taking money off the bookie for the season. So we can't grumble too hard. It's just,
Exactly.
yeah, it just gets frustrating sometimes this game, and that's why we've got to try and find trends if we can, and yeah, just discussing it with you is a little bit therapeutic anyway. It's a bit of therapy session, so let's get it off our chests and move forward. And as I say, I take a week off when I've been hit hard. I take a week off. Yeah, so I am going to actually take a week off this weekend from picking value picks. I know you've got a few.
Yeah.
We will discuss them. I will discuss some games that I like. I'm going to keep my pick this weekend. So rather than picking the normal value picks that I pick, I like 4 teams to win. And I'm going to put them on a fourfold and put just a half a unit rather than the student Acca. I'm going to miss the student Acca this weekend. I'm just going to pick 4 teams that I like, half a unit at 10-1, and that's all I'm going to play. I'm going to play your big gun Acca because your big gun Acca is always worth a unit, and that's it. And then worst case scenario, I'm only 1.5 down this weekend, and yeah, I'll go again over the Christmas period. That's my personal preference, so we'll get to that. So, but before I say those 4 teams, I know that there is a team in the Premier League that you like as value. So why don't we start there?
Okay. I like Aston Villa at home against Manchester United. If you look at the form table, Aston Villa is first. We talked about them quite a lot this season and their good home form. They really show that as well. They had the win against Arsenal a couple weeks ago, and I'm thinking if you can beat Arsenal at home, then you can beat Manchester United at home this season. And it's for over even money. It's for 2.06, 2.06 with the early payout. And I think it's just a fair price for a fair game nice watch, and I'm gonna have a unit on Aston Villa to keep the home streak alive against a little bit of on and off Manchester United. You think they got it going again, and then you get the 1-1 draw against West Ham and the 4-4 draw against Bournemouth last Monday. Just not consistent enough. And then keeping in mind that Aston Villa is on like a 7 win streaks, and they just keep on winning, getting green flags all around. And yeah, Aston Villa at home,
Okay,
2.06.
yeah, I to be honest with you, I did look at this and I liked it myself, and I just find Man U a funny team to bet on or against this season. They're just a bit random, aren't they? You know, every time you think they've turned a corner, they don't really, and then every time that you think you can fade them, they get half a decent result, scraping a draw or something. So it's I find them a difficult team to bet on generally or against. So that's the only thing that would put me off. But yeah, Villa's home record speaks for itself. They've also forget the home record. They're on an unbelievable winning streak anyway. I think it's 6 wins in a row in the Premier League. The only one they lost was away at Liverpool at Anfield. They beat Man City the week before that game. So they've won 7 of their last 8. And United, yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, they're scoring goals again now, but four conceded at home last week to Bournemouth. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Their away form has been half decent though, to be fair, but they haven't played the teams of the standard of Aston Villa. So I do think it's good value. And I've actually got it here at 2.1, and that is with also the 2 goals.
Okay, better prices over there.
So let's get that locked in at 2.1. So I will now just jump into my fourfold Accas that I'm going to play this weekend because it does start in the Premier League. And this could be a value pick on itself, actually. If you agree with me on it, you can play this as value because this is the highest odds of the fourfold, and it's Liverpool away at Tottenham.
Okay.
Liverpool away at Tottenham. Yeah, I'm going to fade Tottenham here. They've been terrible at home. Every time they're another team. Every time I think they've kind of turned a corner, they haven't. They let me down massively last week when I picked them to win at Nottingham Forest. Absolutely smashed up. They did win their last match at home to Brentford. But other than that, they've been absolutely appalling from home, especially when they've played a half decent team. And I don't know, like Liverpool have kind of turned a corner. They like I know this is the bar hasn't been set that high in terms of corner turning, but they're unbeaten now in 4 in the Premier League. They won against Brighton themselves last week. They drew away at Leeds their last away game, but I mean they really they were in a position to win that game, and you would have had the 2 goals payout on that had you picked it anyway. So yeah, I don't know why. Like Mo Salah's gone to AFCON now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I know it's going to sound really bad, but I actually think that that's a good thing for Liverpool right now. I think they need to get him out away from everybody, let it calm down. I'm not saying that he won't or can't come back and they can't solve it all. But I think him away right now is probably going to galvanise the team a little bit because I do feel like that he is a little bit of a narcissistic, arrogant prick at times from an outsider looking in. It does feel like that. I'm sure there's players in that dressing room that like completely respect him. Don't get me wrong, like one of the best players in the world. But you know what? Probably sit there sometimes and think, shut up, mate. So I actually think this might galvanise the team. Ekitike looks the real deal.
Yeah.
I fancy Liverpool here.
Yeah, I didn't want to get like a biased pick, so I didn't select Liverpool this weekend. But I do like your reasoning. I do like fading Tottenham. I do like backing Liverpool a little bit at the moment because the price is all right as well. It's about even money, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2.05.
Yeah, 2.05. I think again it's a fair price. Liverpool isn't that bad. and they were like the team were like mentally in the wrong place at a certain moment in time, and it looks like they turn it around. You definitely could have like a relapse, but it's a good price, Liverpool. So I like it.
Yeah, and Liverpool like beating Tottenham as well. They've won 9 out of the last 12 meetings in the Premier League. 4 of the 6 they've played at the new Tottenham Stadium as well. One of the ones they didn't win was the infamous VAR situation where they miscommunicated the Liverpool goal. To remember, so they've got a good record. I really fancy them. So they're one of my teams. You could put this as a value pick. I do like it, but I'm going to stay true to me limiting my spend this weekend. So I'm going to just put this as part of a fourfold. I'm going to put Arsenal on there as well, away at Everton. Tricky match under the lights, game before Christmas, never bodes well. I did hear, I don't know if this is 100% correct, but I did hear that Everton were without quite a few of their stars. I heard that Ndoye, Dewsbury Hall are both out, and Grealish. Well, Grealish is a doubt, but Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall are definitely out, I understand, and probably Grealish as well. That's their 3 best players this season.
Yeah,
So
I'm just looking into it
play 'em.
now, and I is for away for the AFCON, and
Oh,
Gui.
actually, of course, Ndiaye's AFCON, yeah.
Gui is also away on AFCON, and yeah, Grealish and Dewsbury Hall, Coleman, and Brandwave are all doubtful.
Yeah, I heard earlier in the week that Grealish and Dewsbury Hall were definitely out. I'm
Yeah,
looking now and it says doubtful, but yeah, either way, I think it's probably a good time to play them. Arsenal are going to be under pressure because Man City play first, should be 3 points at home to West Ham. And that will put them temporarily first place, which is
wow.
going to put pressure on Arsenal. So Arsenal do need to win, and yeah, I think they'll get the business done, and yeah, getting some players back. Although we seem to lose a new player every week, but to injury, but yeah, slowly getting some players back, especially in attack. So yeah, I'm confident that Arsenal will get the job done alongside Liverpool. Then my other team in the Premier League to win is Bournemouth, at home to Burnley. So yeah, I mean, I don't. There's not much to be said here really, other than fading Burnley, who have lost 7 in a row in the Premier League. Bournemouth have not been great. They've not won in the last 7 neither. But a lot of their losses are away from home. They've only lost one at home all season, and they are beating the teams they should do at home. So they've played four matches against teams in the bottom 8, and they've won 3 of those 4, drawing the other one. So they are doing well against the teams they should do. Burnley lost every single away match except one, which was Wolves, who are the only team below them. So yeah, I'm adding Bournemouth to this as well. And then my last and final pick is in the Championship. It is Sheffield United at home to Birmingham. This one, yeah, it's a little bit based on Birmingham just being so bad away from home, so bad away from home. Sheffield United, yeah, still not like fully convincing, but they have won 4 of their last 6 matches. They are generally winning at home, and Birmingham just seem to be a different team. They're really good at home, really bad away. So I'm adding Sheffield United to that. You can get odds of about 10 to 1, so 11.0 on this fourfold. And yeah, I'm going to play half a unit and just watch your big Gun Acca come in, take us into profit, and this will be a huge bonus should it come in.
Okay, I'm also gonna play this one. I like it.
Okay, so I did have I actually played it with Man City as well, but I understand Man City are on your big Gun Acca, so I didn't want to go 1.5 units all in, and obviously I'd be secretly happy if Man City didn't win. Or what would be perfect would be a 2-0 lead, cash in, and then West Ham come back and get a draw. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, that would be the best. Okay, let's find out.
Okay, so I think that's everything for England. I know you've got some value picks elsewhere, mostly in your homeland.
Yeah, we have two value picks in Holland this weekend. First up, you always jump on them for this price. PSV away from home against FC Utrecht for 1.7. And yeah, it's I talked about PSV a lot this season in Holland that as they are a quality above the rest, they look very experienced. They had this very last season they had this period of time where they lost a lot of points when they were up a lot for the title race, and eventually they got Ajax back and they got the title. And I think like they learned a lot from that as well, and the coach as well. And they seem even more experienced, and they're just a better team. Although it's a tough match, don't get me wrong, FC Utrecht definitely going to be up for the task. Um, but yeah, PSV just different level, different caliber for 1.7 PSV away from home against Utrecht.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah, and I also think that for a lot of Dutch players, it's like the last match before they have like a little break. Like we have a winter break. We don't play through Christmas and New Year's and stuff like in England, but we have a little break. So you probably want to end that last match well, so you have like a nice Christmas dinner, or at least I'm imagining those things. Like the players should be up for it. Otherwise, they have like a tough discussion on the Christmas dinner. So PSV for the win.
Yeah.
Next up, next team that I like is FC Groningen away from home against Go Ahead Eagles. And yeah, this is um, I picked this because I think Go Ahead Eagles is just tired. Like they must be knackered after a season like this. They've been playing in Europe for the first time. They get some great results, but yeah, you definitely could see it last time out against FC Twente, where they played against Lyon a couple of days before, but they didn't had any energy left. FC Twente won quite easily 2-0. And then after that, they had to play again on Wednesday, Go Ahead Eagles, and they were pushed to penalties in the cup. They did manage to win, but I remember that there are a couple of guys who also got injured throughout that match. And yeah, I think that they just don't have enough people on the team. They do have enough people. Well, a couple of them are injured. And FC Groningen is quite fresh. They didn't play for a week. They were out of the cup already. So they just have a lot more rest than FC of than Go Ahead Eagles. So FC Groningen away from home 2.2.
Good odds, 2.2. Just to add value, add weight to that pick as well. FC Groningen, apart from the, it's really funny looking at their away record this season. They've literally lost to the top six teams away from home, and they've won all the other games. So they've beaten everybody else away from home. Go Ahead Eagles sit just under mid-table, and FC Groningen have beaten everybody of that kind of caliber away from home this season.
Yeah. So
So doing the business.
let's go FC Groningen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at other stuff here as well. I mean, Go Ahead Eagles' home record isn't terrible, but as you say, their form slipped, and you're adding some tiredness into the equation as well.
Yeah, I think that's why the price is already down to this. Like otherwise, I think Go Ahead Eagles with they won the cup last season. They doing all right in Europe. They still have a chance to get through. They had some quite good results. You remember, I think they got a result against Feyenoord at home. So it's kind of strange that SC Groningen is actually favored for this game. So I think the bookies picked up on it as well, and everybody can see it. And there's been talked a lot a little bit about it in the news as well, so might some bettors catched up on it as well. So, but I still think it's a fair price for that, and I'm gonna play it. So FC Groningen.
Okay, let's move on to La Liga. La
Yeah,
Liga. We have Barcelona 4 points clear now.
yeah,
Real Madrid has stuttered of late. What
yeah.
do you think about this weekend?
It's all about fading Levante. It's I've been talking about this also a couple of weeks. This is one of the teams that I'm really eyeing on to fade at the moment. And if you keep in mind that they had a loss against a lower league team throughout the week in the Copa del Rey, they lost against Cultural Leonesa. Did you ever heard of that team?
No, no. And I
No.
live in Spain.
Yeah, you live in Spain and you never heard of it, but they lost anyway. Um, and Real Sociedad, it's not that's their best season so far. But it's just about fading Levante here, and you can fade Levante for the price of. Let me double check. Where do I have it? Here we are, 2.1. 2.1.
2.1. Yeah, it's good odds. You're getting the odds because of Real Sociedad's lack of, I suppose, trust as well. But yeah, Levante have lost five on spin, and they've only got 1 point at home all season. So yeah, they are definitely a team worth fading. And other than the recent form of Sociedad, they were actually in okay form before that. They were kind of unbeaten in five. They'd won 3 out of 4 in a row. They were picking up some momentum, and then they've just kind of gone back and they've lost 3 in a row themselves. But as I always say, when fading teams, is that Levante are definitely a fading team, and has Real Sociedad shown enough to to get a win at good value? And yes, they've shown enough, not that much, but they've shown enough. They've beaten Osasuna away. They've had a couple of good away draws as well, and like Celta Vigo, which has been a tough team to go to this season. So yeah, I think it's good value.
Yeah, and let's see. We just have a couple of them. I do actually, when I think back of it, I like all of them in a different way then. And if you want to weigh it, like yeah, maybe PSV is like because you think PSV is most experienced and they are gonna do it. And I also like the other, when you think about Go Ahead Eagles, it's more about fading them and their tiredness and fading Levante because they're playing so bad. So let's see how's it gonna play out.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the value picks. I'm leaving them all to you. I've got my little fourfold at half a unit. All that's left, Rob, is the big Gun Acca. So
Oh,
tell us, what have you got for the big Gun Acca?
I have a six-fold for 4.25 and matches going on tonight as well, two of them. And I'm just gonna start with the big on Accas.
Okay.
First up, ADO Den Haag, SC Cambuur, Manchester City, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and FC Porto. 4.25. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. So we're staying only Man City out of your top European leagues there. So
Yeah.
interesting picks, those ones.
Yeah, got scared of Bayern München. Don't like Real Madrid. So I'm
God.
staying away from those teams. And
Yeah, we'll get our time. You watch February onwards. Your Real Madrids and Bayern Munich will win every game.
let's go. Let's go.
So look, no, I like it. I mean, we'll keep this pod super short and sweet this weekend, and I think that's good sometimes when we're licking our wounds. But I actually like that. I think it's pretty clean this weekend, and sometimes less is more, and you can make better unit profit with less sometimes. So let's see.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. I'm going to recharge my batteries. I'm going to have a very quiet weekend, build up to Christmas. I've got my works Christmas dinner tonight. I've got a night out with the wife in Madrid tomorrow. It's non-stop, trying to get prepared for Christmas as well. I mean, are you ready?
More or less, the tree is there, and yeah, it's all about family at our place. Like it's quite relaxing. So yeah, more or less ready. I have a couple of days left at work, so yeah, but most of it is done and behind the back. So focus on the weekend, on the bets, and then Christmas can come, and then let's find some nice Christmas presents. Let's get ourselves some.
Absolutely. Let's hope for a good weekend. And I will be back to my energetic self this time next week. We're ready to go again. I just need a week downtime and get through Christmas, and then we'll go. We'll go again. We'll go again for the second half of the season, and that's it, really, guys. I'll do a quick recap. I won't do it in my normal unbelievable energetic self because there isn't much to say, really. We have Villa at home to continue their unbelievable, not just a home record, the unbelievable winning run at 2.1 at home to United. That does seem good value. PSV, if you ever find PSV at 1.7, wow, you just got to take it, right? And then we've got FC Groningen again against the tiring go-ahead Eagles at also good value, 2.2. Fading Levante, Real Sociedad up. They definitely can show enough to get a win here at 2.1. And then I had a fourfold Acca. We're going to play half a unit on this one. So replacing the student Acca of a normal 0.2, I'm just going all in on a half a unit for Bournemouth, Arsenal, Liverpool and Sheffield United, all to win. Exact odds 10.72. Okay. And then the big Gun Acca, you just heard it there. ADO Den Haag, FC Cambuur, Man City, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray and Porto at a whacking 4.25. I feel good about it, Rob. And I think that we will be sitting here having a lovely conversation post-Christmas. It's going to be Boxing Day this time next week. Maybe we can hook up for it.
Let's find out. If people want to like and subscribe us, you can find us across the social media networks. You can find us mainly on X. Just type in the betting connection, find the white clover, like and subscribe. If you want to listen to our podcast, listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and various different podcast platforms. And yeah, that's it.
Lovely, Rob. Okay, guys, look, have an unbelievable Christmas. Enjoy, have some downtime with your family and friends. I'm sure we'll try and take down the bookies in the meantime, but we'll catch up on Boxing Day next week. Ciao for now.
Happy betting.